Good afternoon, and welcome to the Job Help Hotline. Understanding that America's economy tells us that there are terrible number of shortages of skilled personnel in a variety of industry sectors. Understanding also that our unemployment rate, at least as given nationally, has dipped to unprecedented lows. How is it that one can get access to a skilled job, to a skilled technical career, and to a job with family supporting wages? That's the question I'm going to answer today. How do you get access to a skilled technical job with family supporting wages? My name is Rick Goodell. I'm the director at Illinois Manufacturing Foundation, and we are a job training organization, a nonprofit job training organization celebrating more than 37 years of serving Chicago's communities, and over those 37 years putting several thousand unskilled and unemployed Chicago area residents to work in skilled technical jobs through training and placement. So, if you're an individual who's currently unemployed and looking to secure skilled technical employment, our services may be just for you. Let's review what we do and whether or not those services will work for you. We operate two technical training programs. One for the precision metalworking industry and another one for the information technology industry. And I'll go into detail about each of those programs. A little background, if you're interested, give us a call, Illinois Manufacturing Foundation, or give us a call here, 312-738-1060. Or you can call us at Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. We're at 21st and Kedzie, 2101 South Kedzie, and our phone number there is 773-277-2343. Back to our theme, back to our topic. Our topic is, how do you get into a skilled technical job that will get you family supporting wages? Not a throwaway job, not a job that you are here today, gone tomorrow, but a job with a real set of skills that leads to a real career that you can work in that industry for the rest of your natural born existence. So, two programs we have to offer you. One is for precision metalworking, and that program helps you become a precision machinist. There are 4 steps in that program. The steps are fairly simple and straightforward. The first step is math, blueprint reading, and precision measurement. Step number 2 is manual machining, learning how to make piece parts like those I'm about to show you manually, using manual machine tools, particularly the lathe, the grinder, the mill. And step number 3 is learning to use automatic machine tools. And step number 4 is learning to use computer-controlled machine tools. To make parts of this type, there are more than 1,300 companies in northeastern Illinois that do this kind of work, and the majority of them are looking for skilled labor. They're looking for machinists that know how to make piece parts, and the payroll is pretty good. Once you're really good at it, the average wage is about $23-24 an hour. If you're especially good, the average wage is higher than that. So depending on your level of skill, the number of problems you can solve, the money is there. Now, what can you do? What's in the labor market for this particular occupation? For this particular occupation, the state of Illinois and the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership tell us a couple of things. What they tell us is as follows. They tell us that every year between 2012 and 2022, Chicago needs a minimum, the Chicago metropolitan area needs a minimum of 300 machinists every year. And you know something? There are very, very few places that you can get trained as a machinist in the Chicago metropolitan area. Remember that fact. Illinois labor market projections project more than 300 machinists needed every year in the Chicago metropolitan area. That's a pretty dynamic feature. How do you get there? How do you get to be a precision machinist to make that kind of salary? Well, the first step is to come into our orientation every Tuesday morning at Illinois Manufacturing Foundation, 2101 South Kedzie, at 9:30 a.m. on every Tuesday. We do the orientation. Today we had a number of candidates in. Several of them expressed interest in machining, and two of them actually had some knowledge of what the machinist does and were attracted to the occupation because they were working in unskilled positions in manufacturing and wanted to get into a skilled job. Now, if that makes it interesting for you, then please, we have a caller, I think.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. First-time caller. But you know what? If you would stress drugs, if you taking drugs or you're on drugs, don't bother coming because you got honest people behind you that need that job for their families. So please get up there and please say, listen, if you're on drugs, don't bother coming here. We got no time for you because there's people that aren't on drugs that will get these jobs and do a great job. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, caller. Yes, it is true that if you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to solve problems, if you're willing to show up every day on time, you are good as gold in most manufacturing firms. So, if you need the skills, if you're currently unemployed or underemployed, consider taking up precision machining as a career. As I mentioned, more than 300 job openings every year in the Chicago, Cook County metropolitan area, and all of those jobs start out at a pretty decent rate of pay, and with your skills and experience and problem-solving ability, you can grow in money, in responsibility, in status, and prestige, and achieve some of the goals in life that you've not been able to achieve. So, consider your life, consider what you want to do with it, and if you're looking for a skilled career, come on in. Illinois Manufacturing Foundation will do it for you. We're located at 2101 South Kedzie in Chicago, southeast corner of Kedzie and 21st Street. Easily located, right next to the Pink Line station, the Kedzie Pink Line station. So, we welcome your interest and welcome you to come to our orientation every Tuesday morning at Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. Now let me go to the second program that we offer, and that one's a little bit tricky as well. The second program points to another tremendous need. And what's that need? That's a need in the information technology industry for people who know the ins and outs of computers, can repair, troubleshoot, diagnose, and fix ailing, dead, dying computers, restore them to life, and restore their users to solid job function. We call it the Computer Support Specialist Training Program, and it's different from many other training programs in the Chicago metro area. We insist on hands-on experience. You're not just learning out of a book or off of a screen. You're going to learn to do it by actually doing the work. And when you know how to do the work, that's a lot more satisfying to an employer who's considering you for employment than just having book knowledge or theory knowledge. We want you to have the hands-on experience of repairing, diagnosing, troubleshooting, and solving a variety of computer problems, software problems, hardware problems, sometimes security problems, sometimes malware, spyware, etc. problems. We want you to be able to do all of it. And ultimately, we want you to take and pass through our training what's called the CompTIA A+ certification exam. It's a worldwide certification exam that gets you to the first step in the information technology industry. After that first step, you keep on going. You get another certification a year later, another one a year later, and you keep on increasing in money, responsibility, status, and knowledge and problem-solving ability. So make your way in. Let me just give you a little fact here. I'm going to give you a different sheet that represents the Illinois Department of Employment Security. They point out that every year in the Chicago metropolitan area between 2014 and 2024, there's a need for 293 computer support specialists every year, year after year, for the next 10 years. Well, the need is probably actually higher than that. All you need to do is check with any of the job boards, the online job boards, whether it's Indeed or Monster or Career Builder or any of those, and you'll see that there are a tremendous number of job listings for a person that's a computer support specialist with an A+ certification. So it's a pathway to get you from low or not so hot income to an income that can support a family. That's our emphasis, getting you the hands-on skills so that you can be able to support your own family with dignity, with respect, and be a proud member of your community in holding a job, in holding your head up high, in being able to enjoy the benefits of working in this society. There are not many benefits from not working, so we tend to measure our successes by what people are able to do. And in these two industries, the precision metalworking industry and the information technology industry, the more problems you can solve, the more money you make, and you can become increasingly expert as you go further and further into the industry. So think about that. Some of the problems you're likely to encounter in computer support, for example, this is a device. If you've got a desktop at home, somewhere the insides of your desktop look like this. This is the gizzards of the desktop. Underneath this fan blade here, there's a CPU, central processing unit, that runs the whole thing. Then this is your lineup of inputs and outputs. So where your memory goes, a variety of dozens of components on here that help keep that information flow going. You're going to learn all about this. You're going to learn how to replace components, parts, troubleshoot, figure out what happens. Don't like the big desktop? Well, hell. Okay, you want to go something smaller? Here's a Chromebook. This is the motherboard for a Chromebook. A lot smaller, almost miniaturized story. This is what it's becoming like. And you know very well, since most of you have these modern things called smartphones, you know that the circuit board on a smartphone is about 1/3 of this size. So they packed it up and miniaturized it. Same sort of stories, inputs and outputs over here, connect to the outside world, connect to different devices. You're going to learn all of that and become the master of these technologies. So what do you say? If it sounds interesting, give us a call, come in to visit, come to our orientation every Tuesday morning at 9:30 a.m. at 2101 South Kedzie. It'll be worth your while in terms of having and developing a career that makes sense for you. A career that will help you secure a job with family supporting wages, a job in which you can continue to learn, and a job which offers you as much room for growth as you'd like to take. So I'd like to hear from some of you callers about what interests you. Let me give you a little personality profile just to go along with that story. If you are, for example, a person that has the gift of gab, I'd recommend that you go into the computer support specialist program, because that requires an individual who is able to listen to people, able to respond to people, able to be a talker. Because when customers' computers go bad, they want you to fix it. So you have to find out what is it that's going wrong, what went wrong, and you have to learn from the user what actually happened when the computer crashed or when it went bad. So you've got to have the gift of extracting information, digesting that information, and applying it to the situation. So, an extroverted personality probably belongs in the information technology field because their talking is always a big part of the story. If, however, you're introverted and don't want to be bothered too much with people, then you might want to think, oh, well, then I go into precision machining because there it's you, the machines, the tools, and the material. And if you don't want to be bothered with people, you don't really have to be bothered with people. If you can produce parts, if you can produce parts systematically, time after time, of high quality, that your parts get shipped out of the building, get to the customer, everybody's happy, everybody's making money, and everybody gets to share in the profits and the proceeds and the pride. So make it your business to think through whether you're oriented more towards precision machining, which is the person who is not quite so gifted in talking, but is pretty gifted in solving problems, or you want to get into computer support, which is the person that is a good talker, can extract information from people, and so on. So those of you that are working now, this may not apply to you. But those of you that are underemployed and working at low-wage, low-skills jobs, hey, better come check it out. This is the route to get to a well-paid occupation, a well-paid skill, a well-paid career where you can succeed in realizing your dreams and your ambitions. So I don't say that lightly. I say that because several thousand people have come through our training program and have made a success for themselves over time. I can give you some examples. Well, I'll give you some of the results in our recent class. Recent batch, we don't do big numbers, by the way. We are not for profit, so we're not out to gouge you and rip you off. We only use funding from the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act system, from the Veterans Educational Benefit System, and from the Trade Readjustment Act system. So, if you're low income and unemployed, you can use the Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act system through Chicago's workforce centers. If you're a veteran and are entitled to veterans benefits, you use the veteran system. And if you're a laid-off worker, laid off through international competition, you can use the Trade Adjustment Act benefits to cover your tuition. That means that none of you, if you qualify, of course, will have to pay anything out of pocket. You will certainly not have to pile up student debt like many other schools in the Chicago metropolitan area, where students have piled up thousands and tens of thousands of dollars in debt to pay for training and educational courses that never got them to a job. We all know about that problem, I'm sure. There have been a number of major nationwide educational corporations that have collapsed because they've done fraudulent student marketing, they've made promises they couldn't keep, and they've ripped off the federal treasury of dollars they weren't entitled to. Some of those schools you've heard about. ITT Technical Institutes, not Illinois Institute of Technology, ITT Technical Institutes. And you recently heard, I'm sure, that DeVry Tech just recently got sold to a California corporation. In fact, they didn't get sold, they got given away because the federal government was coming to examine what was going on with their books and accounts. And you've heard a couple of years ago about the Corinthian colleges, and you all know that there are other for-profits that are still surviving somehow. Some of them failed. I'm sure that all of you have seen the Everest College campuses that were placed in the suburbs around the city. They've all evaporated. They've all evaporated because they made false promises to their students. That's not what you're going to get here. You're not going to be loaded up with thousands of dollars of student debt to pay the for-profit schools and their investors who are anxious to make money off of you. We want to help you get a job and get a career, because we know that the only way to make sense out of this economy is to get the skills for a real job and real careers. So let me just kind of mention a little bit more about how you do this. And if there are any callers out there, we'd welcome your calls. As I mentioned, we're Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. We offer training and placement in two distinct occupations. One is for the precision metalworking industry. The other one is for the information technology field. Each of our training programs leads to jobs, and the jobs have excellent starting wages and excellent career paths available to you, where you increase your skill, increase your problem-solving ability, and you increase the money and responsibility and status you have. So do come in every Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. We have an orientation at no cost. We'll explain the training program to you. You'll meet instructors, learn about what it is they offer, and learn about our emphasis, which is very, very different from the majority of other schools. And our emphasis is on hands-on. You're going to do the work. The work will teach you how to do it. So when you go to a company and you're able to show them the piece parts, for example, that you produced, and tell them exactly what tooling you use and what operations you use to make those piece parts, that is something that employers understand, and they just perfectly well love that you're able to do those things, because that's what they want to do and have you do in their companies. So our emphasis is on hands-on training. It's not just classroom, it's not just watching a screen, it is actually doing the work. In the computer support specialist arena, it's doing the work by configuring servers, building networks, wiring in, connecting printers, connecting other devices to the network, ensuring that the network is secure, ensuring that the network works. So our students also help in the outside world with practical problems, and that's part of the training. We take you out to real work sites where real computer users are having problems. For example, we went out last cycle, instructor and students, to a small company, insurance brokerage. They had terrible problems getting their data up to the cloud. Computers were operating at different rates, at different speeds. We went in, made a set of recommendations, made a set of improvements the following weekend, and zip bang, they were operating at an incredibly increased efficiency as a result of what you and the instructors did on a volunteer basis to help that company out of its problem. But that results in experience for you. So, if you're interested, give us a call, 773-277-2343, or come visit us through the Illinois Manufacturing Foundation. Skilled training for real careers, real jobs. We are at 2101 South Kedzie, right at just a few steps away from the Kedzie station on the Pink Line. So you got rapid access through the elevated train. And come in and check us out. Meet instructors. Learn what we do. Learn our emphasis on hands-on training and how that helps you get and secure a job and keep on going in a career. We're not interested. So things you have to bring for training? Yeah, you got to bring some things together. You got to bring 9th grade reading and math. You got to bring an interest in and attention to detail. You got to bring punctuality and reliability. Nobody wants to hire somebody who can't be punctual or reliable. So bring those characteristics with you. Bring your documents, birth certificate, state ID or driver's license, proof of address, proof of income, Social Security card, and we'll help you get in the workforce system if that's appropriate for you, or to get your benefits out of the VA benefit system, or to get your benefits out of the Trade Adjustment Act system. All works that way. So we welcome you. Again, give us a call, 773-277-2343. We look forward to your questions and to your interest. Take charge of your life. We'll see you soon.